Probably 80% of you here at one point in your life probably wanted to end your life.
In my life, I've been very fortunate to win a Grammy in my life, win an Emmy, become a Nike athlete.
5 years ago, I had a heart attack. It changed my entire outlook in life.
What was your biggest limiting belief and how did you overcome it?
What's up, everybody? I'll come stand up. What's up, y'all? I'm Charlie. I'm a dreamer. I'm a delusional optimist, and I care a lot about other people's dreams coming true. And not just financially, but literally every dream that you feel in your heart. I've been on a dream journey since I was a kid. In my life, I've been very fortunate to win a Grammy in my life, win an Emmy, become a Nike athlete, reverse a brain tumor, do an Ironman, ride my bicycle across America, end up with 9 million followers, own a really big coconut water company. There's just a lot that's possible in this one lifetime. And I'm here to give any advice that I can because you guys, y'all are dreamers. And I actually want to hear about y'all's dreams and everything. So please, during this session, open up, ask anything. You got our attention. So don't hold back, don't be shy. Especially y'all guys back there. I can tell y'all got some big dreams. All right?
What's up, guys? I'm nobody special. Like, at the end of the day, you see speakers like us, just understand that we are just like you. We bleed the same. We do the same. We are the same. Just some of us have been through a little bit more than you have right now. And that's why we're here today and this weekend to share with you what we've done, how we've done it, so all of you can, hit the peak of your success in your life and, what life's all about. I have a 26-year background in construction. That's all I did was construction. That's all I knew. 5 years ago, I had a heart attack. And it changed my entire outlook in life. I was making millions and millions of dollars. I would buy property. I would buy land, subdivide it, sell it. I've done over $1 billion in business in 26 years. Everything I've sold and done. I've lost probably hundreds of millions of dollars in years. So at the end of the day, I know how to make money and I know how to lose it. But that's irrelevant. What's important is what we want to do with our life. Because I think a lot of times people in life, they get involved in business because they want to be free, they want to have money, and they want to have a good life. Because you look at other people who are in business and you think they're gloriously successful. And I'm going to tell you something that probably 80% of you here at one point in your life probably wanted to end your life because you felt life was so bad. Mental health is a big thing, right? We just lost a guy. We had him on our podcast on May 11th. He was on our podcast. 7 days later, he killed himself. He was a business owner. He was stressed about investors. He had so much stuff going on, and he just didn't want to face it. So whatever we're facing in life, we don't have to worry about it because at the end of the day, there's bigger problems out there. Our problems are third world problems. We have such a big opportunity here in the United States and where we are and what we're doing that we just have to look at who we are. But we can't compare ourselves to other people because the problem I've seen in business is we're always comparing ourselves to other people, what other people have done, where other people are, how successful they are. That just means that they got fucked and burnt more, they've suffered more, they've been through more than we've been through to be able to do that. Some people are handed a golden spoon, but a lot of people aren't. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you are in life or what you see here this weekend, just understand something. I sat in your chair one day. There was a guy in front of the room one day. I didn't know this guy would be me. I didn't know that I could be in that world because I didn't understand that they were just like me until they said that. So just understanding that life transfers the way that you develop, and every single one of you a year from today could be a totally different person. But another thing I want you to understand is that wherever you think you're going to be in a year today, you're not going to be there. But the growth that you've done between that point and a year from today is going to be exceptional as long as you follow the path. So I'll share with you. I'm extremely vulnerable. Anything that you want to know, anything that you need to hear. And I'm here to serve you this weekend. I'm here all weekend. I came in early. I told Joel, whatever you need, I'll come here the whole week. I'll stay late. I'm here till Tuesday. So if some of you guys got a problem, you want to sit down on Monday, we'll sit down. Whatever it is, you let me know how I can serve you and help you. And that's what I'm here for. Fair?
Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. So we have Daniel here with the mic. If you guys have any questions, you can come up. I think it's best if you stand up, come here, talk to us. If you want all three of us to answer, or if you want to direct a question specifically to Charlie, Dan, or I, feel free to ask that specifically, and we'll answer your questions, okay?
Who wants to go first?
And don't be shy.
So obviously you guys are doing a lot. So what are you guys doing like when you wake up in the morning to like prepare yourself for the weight of the world?
Want to go first?
Sorry.
We just talked about this. So we're all going to be totally different. My life is extremely non-negotiable. I'm extremely disciplined in my life. I wake up around 5:30 every morning. I sleep 8 hours a day. I have to sleep 8 hours a day. That's the only way I can operate at my highest levels. From 5:30 till about 5:45, I just kind of sit there in silence and I prepare myself. Like, what am I going to do today? Where am I going to be? What am I grateful for? I just kind of think for a couple minutes. Then I open up some books. I read some books, some scripture, and I journal. And I do that till about 6:30. Then 6:30, I go down. I have a gym. I have like an Olympic-sized gym at my house. I've got a barber shop at my house. Like, I'm extra. So anything you learn about me, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is just the word extra. And if you want to live in that extra place, you've got to be extra. So I pay for speed. So I like everything to be in my disposal. So I go down to my gym. I do 40 minutes of cardio every morning fasted. I do 20 minutes in a sauna, jump in a shower for about 30 seconds, rinse off, jump in a cold plunge for 3 minutes, cook breakfast, get down to the gym for another hour and 15 minutes. I work out, 9:30, I'm ready to hit the day. So that's how I prepare, because I think most of you, and I'm going to answer for most of you, you probably pick up your phone as soon as you wake up. Who texts me, who followed me on Instagram, who saw my post last night, who gives a fuck? I mean, at the end of the day, you've just given the entire world your attention. I don't touch my phone till after 9 o'clock in the morning, because once I'm ready to show up in the world at my full self, then I'm going to show up. So if you give the world your attention, you get bad news, you get sad news, you see something you didn't like, someone posted something that pissed you off, you've just set the entire tone for your entire day, because you allowed the world to disrupt the way that you're supposed to wake up. So that's how I start my day.
That was a great answer.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more soft-spoken. Can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. All right, so I don't do anything every day like a routine, but I do it in seasons. So like if I have a blitz season, like in my business, this is my season to blitz. This is when I'm going to be a badass motherfucker, right? I'm like a teddy bear, but like I'll turn into like a badass motherfucker, and I'll get some shit done, and I'll wake up early, and I will literally get my workout in. But what I do every day that's not like a routine is what I do in my mind. And I have to find wins. This is my secret to my success. If I have constant proof that I am winning, my anxiety goes away, my depression goes away, and my possibilities activate. That's what makes me an amazing businessman. It's what makes me an amazing boyfriend. It makes me an amazing son, because I want to vibrate so much with positivity that everybody wants to work with me, blessings want to find me, and I find blessings. So what I do every morning is I have to intercept my thoughts. The very first thing, because we're human. And as humans, we are built to survive. And if we are built to survive, that means we are built to look for threats as our first instinct. We wake up in the morning, there's going to be emails, there's going to be problems. Y'all guys are in the construction business. It's always a shit show. Every day is a problem. These things will take a toll on your mind, and if you see only those things, you will feel like you're losing, even though you are probably crushing the fucking game. You might be winning by 50, but if you only see all the problems, you might actually mentally feel like you're losing. So what I do is I wake up. First thing I do every morning, I wake up. That's a winning streak by itself. Okay, we have to identify that. The second thing is I intercept my thoughts. I have to find like 10 wins. It could be simple stuff. My mom's alive. Okay, that's a win. I had a cup of coffee. Hey, we like coffee, right? That's a win. It made me feel good. It's like, okay, that's winning. Like, I took a good shit. That's a win.
That's right.
But see, when you start a winning streak, you start finding things that you normally wouldn't count as a win. It's just stuff that happens all the time. But when you start registering them as wins, something happens to us. We get confident. We start feeling like things are happening for us. And then you just become a better person. So you wake up, you intercept the thoughts, you notice the wins, and then you stack the wins. What did that just spell? W-I-N-S. Wins. All right? I got to be on a winning streak when I wake up in the morning. After that, there's a few things I can do. If I feel like it, I'm going to take my girlfriend to the coffee shop. I'm going to drink my coffee, and I'm just going to go into the future. I love going into the future. I dream of all my possibilities, right? We're all creators. We were created to create. Look at what this man created. Like, that's a real thing for anybody. I've created some amazing things. You've created some amazing things. You guys are on y'all's journeys. You can create. But the way to create is to first have an imagination. Our imagination stopped when we were kids. We got older. We stopped sitting on the floor. We started sitting in chairs, started going to school. They started teaching us math and calculus. And our imaginations just stopped. But we can design this life. And it's very important to do that. So I'll sit at the coffee shop and I'll go into the future. And I'll make sure I speak about the future constantly. Does anybody know what the root origin of the word of abracadabra means? It means as I speak, I create. It's an Aramaic word. We must speak our dreams. Tell it to everybody. There's a lot of magic that follows in that. So for me, morning routine, winning streak, coffee, go to the future, I'll journal, I'll manifest, I'll write. But the real thing I do is I freaking believe everything that I want to get done, everything that I see, I actually believe that it's going to be easy. And I have to find a way for it to be easy. And that is what springs me into action. When you win, you get confident. When you get confident, you start becoming slightly delusional in what's possible. And when you become delusional in what's possible, you take action. So make sure you follow kind of like that, whether it's a routine or whether you're just driving in your car, you could do that stuff anywhere.
Appreciate that, man.
Well, a lot of you hear me a lot, so I'll try to keep it a little shorter for you guys. My morning routine changed. As you guys know, I ran production in my painting company. And just like everyone's saying right here, every morning, 6 a.m., anxiety already, just like that. I already was in anxiety at night going to bed thinking about the texts and the phone calls I was going to get the next morning. Because I was running production. I didn't know exactly how to grow my crews. I didn't know exactly how to build leaders at the time. And what happened was you're also inviting them to understand that it's okay to call you now at that time. I promise you, if they can wake up and get to the car and drive to a job site, they can do whatever it takes without you. And the one thing I want to encourage you guys with this is when I changed, I call it my success morning routine. When you guys go to my school community, you see I break it down. If you do not have non-negotiables, I promise you people will always control you. Everything else will come into your life and take over. Because everyone always says, hey, Joel, how are you so confident making these decisions? Because I have non-negotiables. I will not allow anyone to break them. It's called a non-negotiable for that reason. So in the morning, a non-negotiable for me is same thing. I don't look at my phone. I don't answer. I don't post on Instagram. I don't do any of that. I get up. I just rub my dog's face. She smiles at me every morning, super happy. I'm the first person up at the home. I let her out. I have my coffee. I sit down. If you guys notice in the back of my calls, when you're on my Zoom calls, there's always a seat right there in the corner. I sit in that seat. I read one of my favorite authors, John C. Maxwell. He wrote a Bible, right? Inside the Bible, he actually put a summary of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. So as I'm learning and reading the Bible and putting the armor of God every single morning to protect myself, I'm giving Him first, everything. Then I give to myself. And I had to learn that the hard way. So I always read a chapter in the Bible. I always also do some prayer, some meditation. I do self-regulation. That's one thing you guys are going to hear a lot in this weekend is talking about regulation of mood, understanding yourselves, and getting rid of the overwhelm, right? So Jim Quick, you met Jim Quick? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love what Jim Quick says. He calls it ants, automatic negative thoughts. The moment you guys wake up, just so you know, 75% of your brain is built for survival. Just so you guys know. So automatically, you already wake up negative. So the success morning routine is super important for you guys to literally start that tomorrow morning, whatever that is. I tried the 5 a.m. club. I was horrible at it, just so you guys know. That doesn't work for me. 6 a.m. is perfect for me. I wake up at 6. I don't work out in the morning. I work out at 11 o'clock. So just so you guys know, you get to build your schedule. You get to build your life, right? Do you hear the commonality between all of us three? That's the difference when you start to see success in your life and whatever success means to you, right? But we identify that and then we live by it. And I'm telling you guys, ever since I had a consistent morning routine every time that had nothing to do with anyone but me and God first, my life changed drastically. And then everybody started following suit. The team starts watching you. They mirror you guys. That's why I always tell you guys, get that book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. The Law of the Lid is chapter number 1, right? You guys are putting a lid on yourselves if the first thing you're doing is this, and you're just answering everybody and just panicking, right? Listen to what he said. Hey, I get to imagine my future. I get to have all this goodness, right? He's creating all these things for himself. He gets to see it. So I know you talk about the RAS, which is the reticular activating system, right? A filtration system that just opens everything up for you guys. Isn't that beautiful? So you guys are going to hear a commonality throughout the weekend. We're going to really hit you up with this mindset stuff, which is great. But yeah, my morning routine, that started 3 years ago. My life changed drastically 3 years ago. And you guys do know I've had a contracting business for 8 years. And I'll tell you what, like I was miserable every single morning. And I'm one of the most like positive people you meet, right? Like I'm always smiling. I'm always in a good mood. But man, when I came at home, I was depressed. I was sad. I hated life. And it took one thing. One of my mentors said this to me. He said, why wait to go to heaven to live in paradise when you can build paradise on earth? That's all it took for me to go, wow, I'm done. That's what I'm going to build moving forward. And that's why you guys are here today. Great question.
Great question.
You say you journal in the morning, right? What do you journal about?
It's a good question. So I get my thoughts on paper, but I start every morning being thankful for having another day, thankful for yesterday, and 3 gratitude things every single day. What I'm grateful for in my life, no matter whether it's good or bad. What did I learn in the last 24 hours that I'm grateful for, whether it was something that pushed me forward or something that made me stop and think. I write all those things down. And then I write down things about God, and I say to God, like, what are some things, in the past that I didn't believe about myself? And after I write those down, I go, well, what are some things that you show me that's true about myself? And I write all that stuff out, and then I just thank, God for my kids, for my business, for the opportunity to change lives, and all the different things that have happened, and whatever happened in the last 24 hours that I held on to that I was maybe thinking about, I write it down. If I can't process something, I have them like guide me through it so that I can be able to take that to the next level.
Thank you. Mr. Rocket.
Same question?
Different question.
Different
actually.
question.
So you mentioned that when you find something that's really hard and kind of really tough to do,
Yeah.
but you find a way how to make it easy.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Okay. I'll just give you an example of how I'm doing it right now. So everybody, I'm writing a book right now. And I've put this book off for 7 years. And about 9 months ago, I went to an open house. And I do this. It's like a manifestation field trip. I want to go look at the most expensive houses, like $20 million houses. So I'm in this one house, and I freaking love it. It's mine. But I don't have $20 million. So I'm like, okay, how do I get this house? So I start doing math. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time to do the book. I'm like, maybe, what's the biggest thing I can do? I was like, all right, cool. The book. So then I'm like, how many books do I have to sell? I'm like, okay. I might need to sell like 5 million books. Does that sound hard or easy?
Hard.
That sounds pretty hard. So then what I do, how do I make it easy? That's the question. Well, I start looking for proof. And I'm like, how many books did David Goggins sell? 12? 12 million? All right. How many books did Mel Robbins sell? She's at 10, and she's going fast with that let them theory. And then I look up my God, The Alchemist. 150 million books sold. I was like, how long did it take him to write that book? 2 weeks? What if it's easy? I'm like, oh, these other people have sold all these books. Like, what if it's not that hard? And then I'm ready to spring into action. I start telling my friends, I'm going to sell 20 million. Like, to me, that's easy. Like, in my life, I've sold quite a few albums for my artists, but I'm going to have street teams. They're going to go to Barnes and Nobles, put little flyers on everybody's cars. I'm going to get really good at making videos online. And so I'm going to study the best videos. And so I did that. I went and studied how the most viral videos were structured. It has nothing to do with editing. It's more so how the person who's talking, how they position their words, and they have an opening statement, but sometimes it's the second line. So I'm basically writing this out on a piece of paper, and I'm like, instead of this taking 10 years to figure out, I'm just going to be intentional, and I'm going to figure out how to have viral videos in the next 30 days. So I sat down and I transcribed on a piece of paper some of the most viral videos, word for word, and I drew a line down the middle of the paper, and on the right-hand side, I found my version of it with my stories. And so I'm studying, how do I speed up my success? And so I went out and I did it. And in the past 2 months, I grew 200,000 followers. And if you've seen any of my bench videos, that's when I started. So it's like, oh, if I get 400,000 views a video on average, I will be like Alex Hormozy, Gary Vee level. I have videos with 4 million, 5 million, 8 million. I'm already past some of the biggest people in the game through my intentionality. Ask me, was that hard or easy? Well, I did it in 45 days. It had to be easy, but that was my intention. I wanted it to be easy, so my actions added up to easy. The alternative would be this. It's going to be hard. I'm going to have to grind. It's going to be a long road. And everybody says I'm going to have to be consistent for years. Well, that's what I believe. So, okay, let me just gear up for a few years till I get good. Everybody says I'll get good if it's a long road. I said, no, I want to be great today. So let me actually figure out how to be great today. This is the cool thing about business and marketing. There aren't any secrets. This is public information. You could read books, you can listen to podcasts, you could study a video, transcribe it. If there's a video that some contracting company has done that has added so many sales, you can literally study and figure out why if you want to. So basically, I took this big scary book and I identified what's the easiest way for me to sell 20 million copies. 1, I'm going to get really good at videos. Let me practice that. Let me be very intentional. 2, I'm going to go do so many podcast interviews, and I'm going to get really, really good at this. And I'm going to flood the internet, and it's going to go like wildfire. If I sell 20 million, that's awesome. I'll be able to buy 10 of those $20 million houses. If I only sell 5 million or 1 million, guess what? I won. I won the game. But why did I actually show up to do it? I wanted something. I went to that open house. And I said, you know what? What's the biggest thing I can do? And how do I make it easy? And then I sprung into action. And I'm getting some great results, guys. I've already got, every publisher in the country is calling me for my book. And I haven't even put it out yet. So it's really, I'm still writing my book. But if you guys look on my Instagram, you'll see an orange book. Has anybody seen an orange book? you would think the book is done, but I manifest backwards. I don't feel as an author the book should be the last thing I get. So I went on Etsy and I had somebody rebind another book with my design. And so I want to hold my book every day. I'm about 3 weeks done from writing my book, but I have my book now. It's real to me. I can see it now. So manifest backwards, live in the future. You'll hear me say that. I go to the future. Me getting my book made before it's written is me going to the future. I'm even telling my audience, my book's coming out. You can see it. It's not even done being written yet. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I go about it. I love putting the cart before the horse. I love backing myself into a corner for my accountability. I love finding an easy way to get it done. I love going to open houses and looking for our dream house and then start doing math, be like, how do I get this? All of those things are how I go about it.
Thank you. Thank you both.
That was good.
How's it going, guys? Okay, so I have 2 questions. If you were to start over today with like no money, no connections, no audience, what would you focus on for the first 90 days? And then another question, what is some advice to fall in love with the journey a bit more than just thinking about the destination all the time? Like, how do you fall in love with the journey to get there?
Ooh, that's a great question. For me, if I had 0 audience and I had to start all over again, I would say I would immediately go to social media. That's the first thing I would do is start long form and just start telling everybody everything I know. So I would just start hitting everybody up on long form. I would do some shorts as well, obviously, and try to blow up as much as possible online. I would then go out, open a business, of course. The first business would be anything that I feel like would get me the fastest way I could. So it wouldn't be construction, believe it or not. The first thing I would do to make faster money, I would say, is I would actually build probably a marketing agency, and I would make people money. So I would tell them, hey, for every $5 I make you, you're going to make another 50 for every $5 I charge. So I have the knowledge, I show them the vision, I would execute it, get them the results, and I'll make fast money on that. What was the second question for you?
It was just like some advice to fall in love with the journey instead of the destination all the time.
Yeah.
Was some to be content with the journey.
The journey is about what's the impact that you want, right? So like, kind of like what you heard Dr. Rosner say the other day, right? You got to find that purpose, and that purpose is the vehicle, and the passion's the fuel that fuels the vehicle, right? And when I was chasing money, I kept failing. So the problem is that every time I was on this journey of making money, you can make money very quickly. Money is not an issue to make. It's harder to keep if you don't have yourself aligned with what you're doing. So my journey is the full congruency of self, being a better person for me and everybody else. So my journey would be really important of just mastering myself. Self-mastery is everything to me. So that would be my answer for you, obviously, and that's how I would do it. So.
Tough questions. If I were to start over from scratch today, I would probably try to solve this like one issue. It would be kind of like a service. I see that there's so many business owners that have no idea how to tell a founder story or how to have a personal brand. And so many personal brands come off as real cringy. And it's like they're uncomfortable in front of the camera. And what I would do, this is unique to me, but I built celebrity brands. So I would actually go to business owners and be like, let me show you how to position yourself more like a celebrity instead of an influencer, and have taste with it. But I wouldn't do it as an agency because I wouldn't want to work for that person. I would come in and I would format their first month for them. And they need to have their own videographer and their own editor, so I'll help them hire that person. And they would pay me $10,000 to come in and show them, this is what your photos need to look like. This is what different formats of talking videos would look like. This is how you can take a story of yours and turn it into something that can truly be built for virality, to where so many business owners, they have money, but they still don't have that I feel seen. you know, kind of there's a few things that like people want in life, and being seen is one of them. So I'd actually build something around that, truly helping them. If they want to, you know, carry me on beyond 1 month, they can consult for a few grand every month for me to instruct their editor on what to do. But that's what I would do if I literally had nothing. Now, how do I fall in love with the journey? The first step is to get rid of shit. I'm telling you, like my journey is always better when I feel like a jet ski versus a cruise ship. Because if there's a problem, if this thing's too big and bulky with stuff, like I'm just not having fun. I'm gonna hit the rock. I'm gonna sink. So I actually love getting rid of shit. For me to enjoy my journey. There was a point in my life where when I walked away from the music industry, I wanted like a rebirth. I just walked away from my business. I had a brain tumor. Y'all will hear more about this story tomorrow. But I got rid of my business. I got rid of my city. I got rid of meat. I got rid of everything. Television. I got rid of social media. I got rid of everything. And I went on a journey, and it was actually very freeing because I had nobody to be mad at. So I am a chaser. I do love living at the finish line, but the journey becomes really fun if there's just nobody making you mad. If there's somebody in your life that's making you mad, please get rid of them. Because no, seriously, like this is not our practice life. This is our only one. I spent so much of my business life mad at people, and I'm the type to hold it in. I'm a people pleaser. I'm a people person. I want people to be happy, but people don't want me to be happy. So when I get rid of those people, I can actually enjoy the journey. So have those tough conversations. Get rid of anybody who's causing your peace to be disrupted. Because if you deserve one thing, you deserve peace. I could be okay with not having as much money if I have my peace. But not having as much money and not enjoying it, not an option. And having a lot of money and not enjoying it because of certain people, not fun either. So what are we talking about? Get rid of shit. Have you ever been on a jet ski? Yeah. How much fun do you have? Oh, yeah. Come on now. So it's like, be more of a jet ski. You can get a lot done, but get rid of anybody who causes you
stress.
You see, exactly.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
First question. I actually did it. So this upcoming October will be 2 years. I slashed my old identity and went full in building a personal brand. My Instagram is not even 2 years old. I started from zero. I still have my old Instagram up. I don't use it, but I knew that if I started from zero, I have no other option but to win. And as long as I continued posting what I know people want to hear because they need to hear it, so meaning everyone watches shit on social media to make them feel good. Everything I say on social media doesn't make you feel good. It makes you feel like shit. But it's what you want to hear because nobody else is willing to tell you. So I've built my brand off of the truth and being able to show people that no matter who you think you are, you're not invincible. Your life can stop in a minute or in a day. But you have to own up to whatever it is that you want to be, and you got to take personal responsibility. So I started building my personal brand 2 years ago because I realized that people don't need to know who I am until they know what I can offer. And that's what I've done. So I basically didn't attract any other audiences. I didn't reach out to any other people. And I started taking myself, just last year alone, I was on 104 podcasts. So I was a guest on 104 podcasts, and I did 107 myself, my own. So me and my co-host did 50 something, and I personally did 50 something. And I said the only way for me to get this brand to build is to talk. And I just did that, and I started going out there and I said, I need other people's audiences to know who I am so that this could spread like wildfire. Right. So I remember like when I hit 10,000 followers in like, I don't know, it was like 60 days. I was like, yo, this is crazy. All right. And it stayed at 10,000 for like 90 days. I'm like, what the fuck, man? What's going on here? And then it went from 10 to 50. And then from 50, then I was at like 80 for a while. Then I went from 100 to 140. And then it just spikes and it spikes and it spikes. But what's crazy is I'm not doing anything different.
Right. Just being consistent.
Consistent and disciplined to what I said I was going to do. And so many people are attracted. I have people messaging me now saying, bro, like, I've been watching you since you started this shit. Like, I can't even believe what you're doing, you know? But I put my head down and I know that I have work to do, and that no matter what I did, we're sitting in a world today where your personal brand is everything. I lost my identity, which was construction. I got rid of my company. That's who I was for 26 years. Now who am I? You can't steal my personal brand. You can't steal me. You can't change me. So I'm doing this shit on purpose. You know, so that's what I would do. I would build a personal brand. Every single one of you in this room should be building a personal brand outside of your business. It should be your personal brand, because you should all be hoping to sell your business one day. And if everything you're doing is in your business and on your business page and it's not you, you're going to lose that and you're going to have to do it all over again. And I had to do it. So that's the first thing. Second thing, you said, instead of chasing the destination, I don't have a destination. My dream is so fucking big, bro. Like, I don't even see the finish line. You know what I'm saying? I just keep markering. Got there, hit that buoy, got there, hit that buoy. I'm at the mile marker, next mile marker, next mile marker. The one thing I'm not doing is going backwards. You know, I'm not worrying about what's behind me. I'm not worrying about what's collapsing me. Listen, at the end of the day, our cars have 4 tires and we got a spare. You know, we run a flat, we fix it, we go. Our job is to get off the next exit, get that flat fixed so that we can run with that spare. You know, the problem is people in life, they go, they get a flat, they don't change the flat, they get another flat, and they get stuck. I don't have an opportunity to get stuck. I have 3 kids. I almost died. So at the end of the day, my kids have to see what life is all about. And the only way that you build anything valuable in life is through resistance. Muscle, your memory, your brain, your body, everything is built through resistance. So I'm fighting that resistance every single day, and I'm playing a game of tug of war. But guess what, dude? I'm not going to lose.
Thank you.
God bless him.
How's it going, guys?
What's up?
So I guess it'd be the same question for all 3 of you guys. What's one fear that you got over that would have stopped you, like would have stopped your growth? Like, what's one of those fears that as soon as you're like, all right, well, I'm not scared of this no more, and then you went up?
That I didn't deserve success. That's it.
Okay, bro.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, you guys already know I was a co-author of a book speaking on fear, right? And as those of you that are newer to hear this concept, there's 2 different fears. We've been taught by this world that fear, you got to fear everything and run. So if you guys look at that acronym, right? F means fear, E means everything, A means and, R means run. What if you flip your mindset on that? And every time you think of fear, you run towards it versus away from it. We're so taught that when fear comes up, we should run away, right? And I talk about the bison story. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but bison naturally run towards the storm while cattle run away from the storm. So when I heard that, I said, wow, all my life I avoided conflict. All my life I was taught to never run towards it. So every time I think of fear, I get excited. I've trained my mind to know when fear pops up, because it's gonna. I run, I embrace it, I hug it. Because the faster you get there, the faster you can push through the storm. But guess what? When you run away, it still catches to you. No matter what, it will always catch up to you. I'd rather just run right through it. I don't want to get caught in the storm because my back's behind and I'll get caught up in it versus walking through it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm always going to, anytime fear comes up, I'm always going to say that acronym. And it's a big thing for me because I was that guy that ran away all the time. And let me tell you something, life happens. You're going to get caught. It's going to come back to you. Lies, anything. anything that you're running away from, it will come back and you still have to suffer the consequences. I'd rather run right towards it now. Cool?
Cool.
All right.
So I want to piggyback that. So fear, like, so he's talking about the storm, right? So the safest place in the storm is in the middle. Growing through the storm and going through the storm and being in the storm, right? You die if you're on the outside. So at the end of the day, like, that tornado is going to hit you, but if you're in the center of the storm, you're safe. So you've got to go through that storm process so that you can get to the sunshine and you can get to the light at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay, bet. Run to it.
I'm still sitting here thinking, how do I answer this? Naturally, we all have fears. I've been afraid of almost everything because that's just kind of like a thing. But I might not be the best person to answer this because I truly am a delusional optimist. To where if I'm afraid of something, I'll sit with it a little while. But like I told you, like, I go to the future, and when I see something, I believe it. So, like, we don't have to have our eyes open to see. Like, when I close my eyes, I can see stuff. There's dreams. And so I've always believed it's already done. Time just hasn't caught up yet. So, like, I was afraid to leave my business. But I just jumped. Like, I kind of believe it's going to be fine. So I don't sit in fear. So I'm not an expert in how to overcome fear, but the only thing I can say is every success story, big or small, public, or just talking to a friend, like, it always works out. It's kind of guaranteed. So just be a little delusional about what you want. It's nothing to sit in the fear for long.
Okay. I
do. All right?
Yeah. So for all three of you guys, it's like fear is not even that big of a negative. It's like let's get in it. Let's get to it then. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, right. That was great.
Thank you.
100%.
Yeah.
Mr. Callum.
You guys, hello?
There it is.
You guys all mentioned God. Two of you mentioned Scripture. I was just curious because that's become the biggest part of my life over the past year or so. And I'm curious, not who is God, but what is God to you? Like, what's his personality like? How does he help you? You know, what is your connection to him? And how does that help you through times? You know, like, what do you feel about that when you're going through business, etc.? What would you feel like if you met him? Who do you think he is?
Well, I know Scripture really well, so it really says God. I'll probably hit you with something different. God is fearing. Like, you don't want to mess with God, right? Like, God can make you fear, but he's also loving at the same time. And the one thing that I love, and this is where I talk about contractor excellence, right? Biblically speaking, I mean, it says God's within all of us, right? And that's why I was like, well, can we deny that then? Are we not excellence? Is God not excellence, right? So I view God with excellence. I mean, it says biblically, literally, he made us in his perfect vision, like how he wanted us. He created us in his vision with perfection, right? So when I think of God, I think of peace. I think of love. I think of a God-fearing man, right? Like, I just don't ever want to cross him because he gave me such a beautiful opportunity to even be here in front of all of you guys. And I'll tell you what, like, just like these guys, they've almost lost their lives. And a lot of people don't know that part of my life. I've been held at gunpoint 3 times in my life as a kid. There's so many things that I could have just died from. And I'm like, God has a plan for me. And I can't deny him for that. So, again, I would say the biggest thing is, again, I love him. I think he's peace. He's love. But I see fear in that as well, right? Because if we go against, I feel like he'll strike down very quickly on that, right? So that's how I view God. Hope that answers for you.
When I was in the music business, my mom would always say to me, like after we would win awards, and she said, make sure you always put God first. And I was like, I don't really know what that means. Like, she's like, all this is happening because of God. And I was like, I would have all these doubts. I was like, I'm pretty sure, like, I passed out those CDs and I drove to those radio stations. I was like, I don't know what you mean. Like, thank God for making this happen, because I had doubts. And it wasn't until I got sick with a brain tumor and I started asking for miracles. Because as a businessman, my whole life was just math. 1 + 1 = 2. If I do this, I will get this. But I needed a miracle. And so I asked for a miracle, and I got it. And then I started getting like miracle after miracle after miracle. And I'm talking about things that like I did not do. Like it would literally be, I mean, I'll give you an example. I'll pull out my phone. So like, oh, thank you. What would we do without Big D? All right, so like in my notebook, for example, I wrote down this. This is 3 weeks ago. And let me see where it is. Here it goes. April 23rd, 2006 at 11:35 a.m. I'm at the coffee shop. And the title of this little journal, there are so many possibilities. That's like, I'm like about to go into the future. And I'm just like, what did I type here?
Nike. Nike wants to collab.
I haven't worked with Nike in 8 years. Back when I worked with Nike, I was doing an Ironman in New Zealand. And I was riding my bicycle across America, and I did 5 marathons. Nike had a lot of good reason to work with me, okay? But I'm sitting there at the coffee shop, and I said, Nike wants to collab. I'm not doing any of those things right now. I run about 1 mile and walk 3 or 4 miles a couple times a week. But I wrote this 3 weeks ago in my notebook. Out of the sky. What does that say?
Charlie Rocket, Nike Mind 001 storytelling.
Out of the blue, Nike emails me and wants to collab. They send me the contract today. How many cold emails did I send? How many people did I reach out to? If that ain't God, what is? You just pray or manifest or speak whatever is most comfortable for you, and then it shows up. Falls out of the sky? This has been happening on repeat for me ever since I got the brain tumor. So to me, God is like I kind of smile because it's like I'm seeing my friend, and I'm like, we just talk and then stuff happens, and I'm like, thanks, big dog. That's kind of like how my relationship is with him.
So God's my homeboy. Jesus is my homeboy. I think one thing for you to understand is this. It's not your way or your understanding. And I think it takes a lot of us a long time to go through so many things in life and look at all the things that we've got stopped in our tracks for because we wanted it our way, not God's way. And God's got a little game out there. How bad do you really want it? And every single time you're with him, but then you get off track with him, he kind of has a way of pulling you back. And whether that's losing business, losing a relationship, whatever it is, and that's your time to check yourself. So, I mean, there's tons of scripture in the Bible. You know, if God is for you, who could be against you? Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have, for you, plans to give you hope in the future. Like all these scriptures talk about his plan for us. But the problem is we question him on our plan for us. So when life really starts to happen the right way is when we fully surrender. And I fully surrendered. I've been a Christian. I mean, I got saved in 2007. And I was born Catholic. I tell people I'm a recovering Catholic because I was forced into being a Catholic. I think most of us, are forced into being something that our family was introduced to, but we never fully understood. When I finally accepted what I needed in my life, it was still hard for me to process the fact that I wasn't the driver in my own vehicle. I was the passenger. And it takes a long time for some people to realize that. And it takes a lifetime for some people to realize that. We are the creator and destroyers of our life if we don't abide by his plan. And what I found is when I submit to him and I ask him to show me something, provide something, introduce me to someone, it just happens. But when I feel like I deserve something because I am who I am, nothing happens. So I think it's super important to know that we're just playing a game that he's already created. The outcome is the outcome. Every single thing that you've ever worried about in your life has not even happened. He knows your final destination. Your job is just to show up. So like I said to you guys all earlier, wherever you think you're going to be in a year from now, you're not going to be there. Your life's going to be totally different. I want you to look back real quick to 12 months ago. Did you think you'd be sitting here right now? No. So everything that we vision for our future is not our future. Our job is just to show up day in and day out and surrender for what's available for us and let the relationships lead us to what's next.
Great question, man.
Easy.
Yeah. So, as you guys said, like chasing excellence and being delusionally optimistic, like how would you guys say to still have those goals and go into the future and do that, but also like stay where your feet are and like accept kind of where you are then, if that makes sense?
I always just live by this one thing. You don't have to worry about where you're at when you know where you're going. Like, it's okay. Right now might be a shit show. Yeah, every successful person was right here, so I'm just like them. It's supposed to be like this. I'm living a movie. Do I want to live a good movie or a bad movie? All good movies have to have really bad scenes. So you know what, these bad scenes? Man, this is how a good movie's supposed to be. So when you find when you find the win and the loss, you disarm it. It's no longer a loss. It might be a lesson. And I look at it like a L and a L is a lesson learned, but that's still a W. You know? Like, we just can't lose. So if you're dealing with some shit, throw the tantrum. I do it. I throw it, though. I don't hold the tantrum. I throw the tantrum. I'm emotional. I get through it. And then the second I find the win in it, for example, I'll just give you an example. So my ex-girlfriend, when she broke up with me, she was very confused because she walks into the house and she says, I want to break up. And so I just went like silent for a little while, and I was like, my foot was literally on the trash can, the little step, when she said this. And I was looking at the trash can, and then I looked at her and I said, okay. And she was like, so you're breaking up with me? I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You didn't fight for me. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You just wanted to break up with me. And I said, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, this is good. So bye. That's why they call it goodbye. Like, I literally have to find something good in every bad situation. And my mind is just not going to stay there. It's just not fun to live life that way. So if your current reality sucks, try finding a win in it, start smiling, and then that will move you past it so fast and it'll make you really enjoy the journey. I'm excited to hear what Big D has to say.
What was the question again? I got lost in his.
How to stay like. What was the question?
Stay where your feet are.
Yeah, stay where your foot. Yeah, living in the future and having those like, chasing excellence, but also like staying where your feet are too, and like, and you know what I mean, not looking there and being way too obsessed with that when where you are right now, you're like not, you know what I mean, not enjoying it, not like.
So I don't know if you noticed, but me and him are two totally different people. I don't live in the future. I live in the present. I almost died. The future is not promised. We can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow, so we have to live right now. So when I look at my future is dictated by these next couple seconds, because 10 seconds from now I could be dead. So at the end of the day, I live in my present. I used to live in my future, and that's why I had a heart attack, because I was stressed about the future. I was stressed about the outcome. I was stressed about what's going on. Dude, I don't worry about money. Money's a vehicle and a tool in my life, and it's extremely secondary. I'm purpose-driven, I'm solution-driven, and I make sure I serve. And if I serve every single day, people are going to eat. And if people eat, they're going to get fed, and I'm going to get fed. And that's it. And I can only work on what I'm working on right now. I have big goals. I have big dreams. Yes. But I don't live in that place. I know I deserve it. I know I'm going to get it. They're so big, bro. They're like, I mean, it would take craziness to achieve this shit. So all the stuff that I'm going to do in life is just so easy because my dreams are so big. So I live right now because almost 5 years ago, I wasn't promised today. So I live a little bit differently. So I think it really depends on who you are and where you want to go. The future is going to ultimately become a byproduct of your present.
So Izzy, I'm gonna flip it back on to you. Can you give him the mic? So Izzy, what prompted you to ask that question?
I don't know. Well, I had a lot of other questions too, but these guys got to it. I don't know. I think I don't know.
Because obviously I know you're hitting high numbers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You seem to be a high achiever, so I take it that you're asking that question because you see you're pushing these goals. And usually when someone asks me a question like that, I feel that they're struggling with that in the present moment. So that's why I'm asking you, what does that mean to you so that I can give you a proper answer?
I don't know. I guess like competitive nature, like when you go around and you see a bunch of people like you guys too that are just doing super well, super successful. I don't know. It's like, even though obviously I'm younger and I have so much time, I like feel this need for it to like, I don't know, speed up and do it and like do it now and stuff, when like you guys said, like you guys are all these stories and you did not expect. And like you said, I did not think I'd be here 12 months ago too. So I guess just like being able to take it all in and not be in too. Like I feel like sometimes I might live in the future, I guess, too much, and then sometimes like fear the future. So like finding the balance, I guess, in between too.
Yeah, so there's a lot to that I can really talk about, but I think the biggest thing in the shortest way of saying this, I've sacrificed a lot in my life. My family didn't get to see me when I was building my businesses. I didn't go on vacations when everybody was out partying. I was busting my ass off working 7 days a week, 12, 14-hour days. And all I had to show for it was stress and a little bit of money. And literally, when I'm going to talk a lot about alignment and congruency, right? I don't think there's really a right answer because I'm so far in my future of what I want to achieve and what I want to do. I'm still present, though. If you would have asked me this question 3 years ago, it would have been a whole different answer. I'd be like, I'm not present at all. Because all I can think about is the future, and that's it, and I don't even know what's going on. I can't even remember our conversation. But I'm so here, and I'm so there because I envision the future so big that, like these guys are saying, I'm delusional too. Like, if you ask what my dreams are and what I'm going to do, notice what I said, what I'm going to do, not what I want to do or I think I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. I think like that, but I'm also present. Because I'm so aligned with everything I'm doing that I do truly believe what Dan just said. What I'm doing right now is building that future for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tough question to answer, right? And I think for you, if you feel like you're not really here, I think what you want to do is really just realign yourself with like, what are your values? What are you trying to achieve while you're still hitting those awesome goals and pushing as hard as you are, right? Because if you don't know what your values are and your, what I would say, what your true alignment is, right? Like you always feel like you're just in the future and that's it, right? So I knew I was going to do this. That's the funny part. I knew what I was going to do here. And I know what I'm going to do in the next 5 years. I've already mapped it out. I'm going to talk about that in the next 2 days, is how to build yourself and how not to have imposter syndrome, right? The whole fake it till you make it and all that stuff. Because I know those are the questions that are going through your mind. And we're going to clarify that throughout the event this weekend. So I hope that'll help you out with that question, okay? Sure. But I love that answer because, how old are you?
21.
21. Woo! My guy. Oh, man, I wish I was in a room like this at 21 years old. Yeah.
So one thing, think about the question you asked. When you type the address in your GPS, it tells you how far it is. What do you always try to do?
Speed it up.
Beat time. And what do you put yourself at? Risk. Right? Everything's mapped out correctly. And then sometimes you're on your phone. So I'm the guy in my car, I'm on the phone, but you hear my GPS in the background because I need to hear that or I'm going to miss the turn. When you miss the turn, it reroutes you. Now you just added time because you're unfocused on the destination and what it takes to get there. So when you focus too much on the end and where you're trying to go, you don't survive in the present and you kind of get messed up, and it actually makes your time a little bit longer.
That's great. I'm actually interested to hear about you because I'm hearing high numbers, 21. Who are you?
So I am running, I guess, the head of sales for Top Pick Painters, Callum's company here. And yeah, so started off, I guess, crazy year. I started off as doing door-to-door, like majority of people, right out of school, not knowing too much about sales, but knowing I could talk and I could, I don't know, I guess, like make good friends with people. So yeah, I did door to door, and then opportunity came up where the other rep left, and then yeah, I started learning. And Callum's a very knowledgeable guy and been a great mentor in my life too, especially when he mentioned him coming to God too. He helped me get a lot closer to God. So yeah, so kind of just following, doing, and then I guess the first year, after my first year, I think 14 months, I sold around $2 million in my first year of sales. So
what? Y'all give it up. Hey.
Yeah.
What? Are you kidding me?
No.
I'm paying you. I need to close.
That's awesome, man. Bro, 21 years old and you know how to sell?
Just stay humble, bro.
Yeah. You're going
ego and pride in your back pocket, and just stay humble.
Bro, congratulations.
Thank you,
man.
thank you.
Congratulations. I'm inspired.
What was your biggest limiting belief, and how did you overcome it?
There's many.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about this? I'll give you a little story real quick, and I know I'll warm these guys up. When I was in third grade, I was in a special class. They said I couldn't read because every time I would be called on, you guys ever been in school when they're like, hey, go ahead and read this chapter of the book or whatever else, right? I would stutter. I would be so nervous that I couldn't even read properly. So I had to go to a special class. And they kept saying that I just didn't know how to read. Now, being an adult and I look back at it, it's not that I didn't know how to read. I was just nervous, right? Because the way I grew up, I was always constantly told, don't speak, shut up, be quiet. You don't have a voice here in this house. That's how I grew up as a kid. So whenever my voice was time to speak, I would stutter, and they said I had a learning disability. So I believed that, right? I also believed that I needed a college education. I believed all these things. So I had all these limiting beliefs that the exterior of the world was giving to me. But I had this one voice every single time, and it was my mom when I was younger. She always constantly said, you're going to do big things. You're going to do big things. Don't listen. Just cancel the noise. She was always in my head, being the opposite effect, the opposite voice. So I believed her. And then as I grew up, obviously, you're going to hear the other limiting beliefs from your spouses, from your coworkers or your employees now, right? So I had many limiting beliefs. Just so you guys know, like, everyone thinks I went to college. They think I had like this perfect family life. And I'm not here for any kind of pity of my story, but you got to remember, everybody has a story. Everybody went through something, right? Penn State University, I was going to get a whole like school, like full scholar, like a whole ride, running track. I had all these things going for me that I thought was going to be perfect for me. None of it worked out. In fact, everything I thought I was going to do in life was the polar opposite of what I'm doing right now, right? But those were all limiting beliefs. And the limiting beliefs come from the story everyone's telling you that they believe about you. And the one thing I love, Dan, you said something earlier, I can't remember exactly, but it's similar to this, right? Notice when he said, when I changed my identity, you can't buy it, you can't change it. Does that make sense? When you know who you are, I'm allergic to negativity. I'm allergic to what people try to cast a spell on me. When they say something about me, I don't even hear it. That's how I got rid of limiting beliefs, because I don't believe in what people believe in me, because that's a lens that they have. So you guys got to be careful with that, right? And notice that, right? It's called spells, right? When they say something, you start to believe what they're saying to you. So I highly suggest identify who you are, what you believe, what are your values, and who you believe you are, period. Not even me, Dan, or Charlie will tell you who you are, right? Only you own that. But you got to give that to God too, right? Because he's written that for you as well. So, those limiting belief systems, they just got to get shattered, and we all have them. I want you guys to understand that, but that's a program. And as I teach you guys this all the time, I tell you 98% of your mind is subconscious. The other 2% is conscious, right? Well, where's that subconscious coming from? Is that programming all the time that you were told these stories? So be careful who you hang with, who you allow in your head, right? What music, what movies, all of that is telling you a story and programming your mind. And you start to believe it, right? Oh, I saw this guy online and I wish I could be like him. Why not? You can write that story. So that's what I feel about limiting beliefs. I feel like there's many of them. The way I shattered them is I stopped buying what everybody else's story was and I started creating my own. And that's by praying, by asking God for wisdom, humbling my ass, because I had an ego like crazy, right? So he said that even earlier. We all, you got to remember, being an entrepreneur, you kind of have to have a little bit of an ego to start with, right? But then your ego gets checked. Life happens, and you need to realize that. You got to stay humble. So I hope that's helpful for you, brother. And I'm going to map that out in the first 2 hours of tomorrow morning. So I hope you're ready. Cool?
I actually would like to piggyback off of this. Identity is so important, and it's something you can choose. And it's actually something we can learn from somebody like Kobe Bryant, for example. Kobe was struggling after the case he had, and his Shaq left the dynasty, and Kobe was kind of lost, and he went to his performance coach, and he said, I feel like I'm losing myself. I've lost my spark. And his performance coach helped him come up with a new identity, and that's when they came up with the Black Mamba. And they gave him a name, an alter ego. And when I heard this story, and Kobe's career took right back off, won championships and everything, and I looked back in my life of my biggest limiting belief that I had. And I actually did the same exact thing Kobe Bryant did to overcome it. When I was a kid, my dream was to be an athlete, but I was always overweight. And I went through my whole life burying that dream until I cracked and I got diagnosed with a brain tumor. And I decided, you know what? I need to experience my dream if I'm going to die. So I actually gave myself a new name. And that's when I named myself Charlie Rocket. That was going to be the new person that I wanted to become, because the version of what I was, I didn't want to be him anymore. So I gave myself a new name, and I gave myself a new identity, and I gave myself a new outfit, and I said, I'm going to be this guy. And it even had meaning. For me, Rocket meant not just somebody who's fast, because all rockets start off slow. If you ever seen a rocket take off, it's hardly moving. And so I identified with that. Just because something's going slow doesn't mean it's not a rocket. No, rockets are slow and then they get fast. So I named myself Charlie Rocket, and I just told everybody what I wanted to be. I spoke it out loud. I remember I was at this longevity center down in Florida. It was basically where old people go to figure out how to live longer. And I was telling this old guy, I was like, I'm going to do an Ironman in 9 months. He said, kid, he's looking at me. I'm almost 300 pounds. He said, you need to set more realistic goals because you're just going to disappoint yourself. That pissed me off so much. I do not like when people tell me to be realistic, but in 9 months, I did an Ironman in New Zealand and I became Charlie Rocket. But the key was to become him first. I wasn't an athlete when I gave myself a name, but I was in my mind. So that identity piece, maybe come up with a little name for yourself. When I was a kid and I wanted to be a businessman, I named myself CEO Charlie. That's what everybody in the music industry knew me as. And when I went to school, I wore a suit and I had a briefcase. Every day. That was my identity. And so I became a businessman. And then when I wanted to become an athlete, I gave myself a name and a new outfit. And now I want to be an author. So notice, this is my author outfit. It's very different than what I used to wear. But this is my author outfit. This is what I feel I should look like as an author. So I wear it every day. But it's fun playing dress up and becoming somebody new. So that's how I overcome my limiting beliefs.
All right. Hard to follow those guys. So I think my biggest limiting belief is that my value came from what I produced, not who I was, and that everything always depended on me. You know, if money had to be made, it was my problem. If something had to get done, I had to do it. If a relationship struggled, it was my problem, you know, and I repeatedly found myself in this space where I just kept crashing and burning. And I was self-destructing my life because I chased validation for my entire life because I never got it as a kid. And I realized that every time I did something, I did it for approval. And if I didn't get the approval, I would self-destruct. And I realized that I was fighting a battle that I was never going to win, trying to fill a void that never needed to be filled. So that's when I started talking about my problems to a therapist, how I felt. Because I'm a man. You guys are all men. We're good. We don't need to talk to nobody, right? We got no problems. We're good. Yo, we're all fucked up. And some of you guys are more fucked up than me, and I'm fucked up more than some of you, you know? And you're going to see some shit that I talk about on Sunday of what I went through in life and what I chased and I self-sabotaged, where I'd make 10 million, lose 10 million. Like, it was crazy. And it was this roller coaster of life, and I couldn't figure it out. And I realized that I got this. Every single one of you men in this room, you've got this. There's a heavy box, you want to try and pick it up yourself. But I didn't realize the power in having 4 corners, 4 men picking it up, less pressure, and it's going to move a lot easier. So the limiting belief that I can allow other people to be in my space and to help me create what it is I'm supposed to create was hard to let go of myself as being the one who had to always make it happen. Because after 20 something years, I made it happen and I destroyed it. I made it happen and I destroyed it because I was the one.
Real quick, guys, I want to say happy birthday to Carlos. It was his birthday yesterday, right?
Thank you.
Taking his time here with us, so thank you.
Thank you. And speaking with that, I am so grateful not only to be here around you guys, but around amazing people. And then I wanted to ask your, what is it called? The way that you guys think, because we have a winning streak, right, on life. We have made many wins, but we have lost a lot. How do you guys pull yourself back up from the losses? I'm telling you because I lost my dad a couple days ago. He passed away. So I am trying to align, who I am, my identity, in order to pull myself back up and then keep pushing forward. How do you guys handle that kind of losses in your life and then you keep moving forward?
Well, you lost your dad's physical appearance. Yeah. You didn't lose what he's done for you, what he's done to you. And the last thing your dad wants you to do is self-sabotage because he's gone. We live in a world where we're not going to be here forever. So your dad has basically passed you the baton and said, hey, bro, it's your turn. Now, you have a choice to sit on this couch and feel bad for your situation, or you have a choice to take that baton and continue the legacy. So if your dad were sitting next to you right now and you had the opportunity to talk to him and say, Dad, I've got two choices. Which choice do you think your dad would give you? Move on, son. I'm still here with you. I'll always be with you, and it's your turn. He wouldn't say, oh, you know what? Just sit next to my gravestone for the rest of your life and pity me. No, it's your turn. And you're going to do the same thing for your kids. So you have kids?
Carlos Jr.
All right. So this is a perfect example. Your son is experiencing the same pain you're experiencing, and one day he's going to experience the pain that you're experiencing and with his kid. It's your job right now to teach him how to grow through that situation, and become the leader that your dad believes you can be.
Very well said. So I just like you, just like all of us, we're all experts in losing. We're really good at it because in this thing called life, we're going to lose, and we're going to lose a lot. But if we add up all the losses and realize none of them beat us, not one, we're here. We're undefeated. And just like Big D said, like, your father's still with you. You're going to feel the pain. We're all going to feel the pain. But he's with you. Find the good and realize that all the losses actually were never losses. Because we woke up today, we have all the possibilities in the world. Everything that should have broke us didn't. We're on a winning streak.
I'm going to repeat what I spoke to you privately on so that everyone else can hear this. One of the toughest conversations I had to have was understanding, I forget what book this is, maybe Daniel quoted, because I know you read a lot too. I think it's the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. When it talks about the one thing no one ever talks about is your funeral. What's going to happen when you pass away? What are they going to say about you when they pass away? Right? That's your legacy, what you instill in everybody's hearts. And that's what your father did. He was instilling life into you, right? And I look at losses in that sense, in the physical form. I look at that as a life of celebration, right? I don't think anybody wants to leave this earth with them mourning us, but they want to actually have us celebrate their lives. Be in a moment like this where we could sit together and talk about the great memories that they were able to give you guys, right? I think that's super important. It's very powerful. And obviously my background, when I talk about the psychology behind it, if you lose a business, you grieve the same thing as you lose a person, just so you know. Your brain doesn't know the difference. Grief is the same thing universally. So if you guys are grieving something, and I want to say this to all of you now, right? If you lost something in your life, whether it's just a business, whatever it is, understand you're grieving, and you have to understand how to get through the grief, right? So that actually happens psychologically, and that's where we try to do certain things, and where I'll be teaching you guys through the hypnotherapy and how to get you through that. So Carlos, I'll work with you tomorrow privately, and we'll work through that if you're feeling anything kind of getting in the way. But I just want to encourage you guys to flip the lens. Everything I'm going to keep talking about this whole weekend is it's all about perspective. It's all about the lens. When I look at a loss, I get excited about losses because I'm constantly learning. I don't look at that as a loss. And just like Big D said, we're talking about growing. Those losses are growth, right? You're hearing that from Charlie. You hear the commonality throughout the night with every question you guys have. We just look at things differently. And when you guys start to see it that way, you will also achieve the things you're trying to achieve. So just keep that in mind, okay? Carlos, I love you, brother, and you have a great heart. And I can't wait to see what you do with your son. And congratulations for bringing him here, because that's the first step. And I think that's a great job, man.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, brother.
Hello.
I like your bit on delusion. As I get older and I kind of look backwards, I can like see the wins stacking up. So at this point, it's easy for me to get delusional. But my thing with it is, I'll get so locked into that mode. I like forget I have a family. I forget I have responsibilities. So how do you manage not getting lost in the sauce?
Rule number 1, do not get lost in the sauce. I might not be an expert in this, because as delusional as I am about my dreams, I have a very great measuring stick for how to treat people, how to live in the moment of like, what are my mom's needs, what are my dad's needs, what are my girlfriend's. I don't know how to answer the question, because I've never struggled with reality today. So maybe we need Big D to answer this. Help me out here. But I do believe it's possible to be very delusional and not get lost in the sauce. But let's see what Big D has to say.
So let's just talk about family for a second. What does your family look like? What do you have?
2 kids, 1 on the way.
Okay. So when people ask you in public why you do what you do, you say for your family. Right? But you just said different to us.
Right.
So if your family gets left what you have to offer them because you're so busy being busy, what are you really doing it for? Pride? Success? Tapping on the back? Feeling good for yourself? Now it's time to check yourself.
Right.
Because if you're truly doing it for your family, then you wouldn't get lost in the sauce. If you were truly doing it for your family would have blocked time in your schedule that would be non-negotiable. You and your wife would have a date night every week and it would never get disturbed. You and your kids would have story time, bedtime, playtime, whatever it is, and it wouldn't get disturbed. The most important phone call in the world can't disturb that. Me and my girl go on a date every single Thursday, no matter what. Unless I travel, we go on a date the day before or the day I get back, whatever. And if I miss a week, we go on 2. Non-negotiable. Phones off. Me and my kids go out to dinner. Phones off. Me and my kids spend time together. Phones off. He talked about jet skis. I just put all 5 of my jet skis in the back of my shore house, in my backyard, in the water. We all have our own jet skis, and that's our time together. It's non-negotiable. I take the entire summer off. Why? My daughter is off of school. For years, my kids had off of school. I was busy being busy, but I'm never too busy for them. Because I understand something. If work becomes your mode, your purpose is lost. You have to schedule your work around your life so that your life can understand why you work. But if your reason why you work gets what's left of you, that's not the reason why you work. Most people own a business because of self-accomplishment. What they feel, what I've done, what I have. What he was saying before. Like he's in the future. Bro, you're 21. Bring yourself the fuck back. Ego, bro, in his mind, all his other boys who are 21, frats, all this drinking, doing all this shit. Bro, I sold 2 million. Look at those fucking guys all drunk. Bring yourself back. Always remember where you started and why you started. And get that aligned. Because if you don't get it aligned, you're going to lose your wife after your third kid because they're no longer important because your success is more important. I lost my wife. And you know what? For years, I blamed her. She was the problem. Everyone else was the problem. Until I became accountable and took myself and realized I was the problem, and I made my success greater than everything else in my life because I was looking for the validation. I was looking for whatever it was, and it made me feel good. So if you're truly doing life for your family, make sure you put them first.
I love that. So I definitely want to talk about the spouse. I've been with my wife 17 years. Think about that. I'm 41. I've been with her for 17 years. And all she's known for 14 of it was work. We first started dating. I would drive an hour away to just go see her every day. But I would work literally every hour of the day. I barely could see her ever, right? Got into business, and I want to especially talk to the family out here, Carla and Jose. It's so important. I didn't realize my wife could give two shits about my business. She could care less about my money. She just wants me. She's at home right now knowing that I'm here instilling and trying to impact as many lives as possible because she now knows what the mission is, what the passion is, but I always give her time. Guess what I'm doing right after this? I'm going straight home to my wife to give her the time she deserves, even though she's giving me time to be here at the event, right? Couple things I want to talk about that as well real quick. We almost had a divorce. It was the biggest eye-opener for me. And it wasn't about anything about me in terms of like, hey, I'm not happy with you as who you are as a person. I'm just not happy that you're never home. All you could talk about is work. All you could talk about is bringing the stress. All you're doing is drinking your life away. That's why we almost had a divorce, right? And I got family right here. Jerry's here with me right now, right? So you guys have to understand, at some point in time, life's going to check you. And make sure it doesn't check you where you can't live it and see it moving forward, right? And I always talk about spouse because I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be here without her. I'll tell you that right now. She has supported me through all the bullshit I put her through. She has never left me. Yeah, she's not too happy about it, right? But we got through it. And it's such a beautiful woman she is. And I don't give her enough thanks. And I say this because you have kids now, right? I can't tell you enough. I used to say this all the time. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm doing it for my wife. I'm doing it for my wife so we can afford these vacations and take this time off. What time off? I never took them, right? So same thing. I do a date night every Wednesday night. So I told you guys even earlier when you see my Insta stories, it's actually right next door to here, Moe's Steakhouse. You'll see us over here at the beach. We play card games on Wednesday nights. We go to the movies, whatever she wants. That's only one night a week. The other 6, she's just like, go do whatever you got to do. I know what your mission is. So I really want you guys to sit back and think about that, right? And those are non-negotiables for me. I don't answer text. I don't look at my phone. Jerry's been around me. He knows he couldn't get a hold of me when I was working, when he would work for me in Arizona. It's just, you got to give that time to the people that you love and that love you because they don't care about the business. They don't care about the money. They love you for who you are. That's why they came into your lives. So I hope that's impactful for you. And Satori, I see a future for you, man. And I feel like I have to instill this for you to hear. You're smart. You're a visionary. You're a hustler for sure. I love the grit and the grind, right? There's something in your heart that maybe you're hiding. I don't know what it is. I'll find out this weekend. I want to bring that out in you because you're going to change your future life. Whatever it's been for you, you're going to give that back to your kids, and they're going to be grateful for that, okay? And I want you to slow it down a little bit so you could speed up, but give those kids your all, man. You have a beautiful heart, brother, so I know you're going to give back to them. Cool?
Let me ask you a question. With your wife and your 2 and future kids, you have any vacations planned?
They come on the work ones.
They come on the work ones.
PCA, paint time, anything having to do with work.
So fucking exciting, let me tell you. So, I do this with my clients. I had a guy, 10 years, him and his wife weren't on vacation. He was about to get divorced. He just went on vacation. He's been with me for like 9 months. He just went on vacation. I made him go on vacation a week. He threw his biggest event for his company, and I let his company staff handle it. He was freaking the fuck out. I said, shut your phone off. If they need anything, they can call me and I'll take care of them. They didn't call me once. It was a super successful event. What you need to do when you go home, or if they're here with you on this trip or whatever, is you need to tell your wife you're sorry for being selfish and not giving her what she deserves, and tell her whatever you want to do in the next 6 to 12 months, wherever you want to go, you tell me, and we're going to go there as a family, number one. Number two, how old are your 2 kids that are born now?
3 and 6.
3 and 6. If that's Disney, wherever the fuck it is, it's a nightmare, so I hope she doesn't say that. But wherever it is, you've got to start sitting your kids down now. So what I've always done since I got divorced, this was 2018, is I've sat my kids down when I got divorced. Divorce was the best thing that ever happened to me because it made me realize that I was the fuck up, number one. Number two, it prioritized my children because I had them 50% of the time. So I can only work 50% of the time. So I had to dedicate my time to them. So I had to come to a real God moment like, hey, bro, when you're with them, you need to be with them. And I sat down with my kids and I said, listen, we're going through a rough season right now. The next 2 years when I'm not with you, every other week and whatever that time is, I'm going to work double so that when I am with you, I am with you. But I promise you something. If I'm on my phone or I'm doing something during a time that we're supposed to be together, you have permission to take my phone and smash it. Unless I ask you, hey guys, can I take this call? It's not more important than you, but I think I should answer this right now. But I'm going to ask you your permission. That's the first thing I told my kids. The second thing I said was, in the next 2 years, I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to go to work and I'm going to give you guys something that you're going to have for the rest of your life. But you have to be on a mission with me. And if I get off track, I want you to check me. My daughter was like, my daughter's 16 now, so she was 10. My sons were like 14 and 15 in the middle of their high school career. Not once did my kids ever check me. 2 years almost to the day, I brought my kids to Aruba, to a place I purchased, and I said, welcome to the rest of your life. Now, we have a main house, we have a shore house, we have a Florida house, and we have an Aruba house. My kids can do whatever they want, whenever they want. My older sons now can go to Florida anytime they want, spend time, do what they got to do. My older sons can go to Aruba, spend any time, do whatever they got to do. And the time that they look forward to most is the time that we all go together every single Easter for 2 weeks. And they count it down, and it's just us. And they're so grateful for everything because they remember the first time that I did that 5-6 years ago. And I promised them that I was going to do it for them. And I put the deed in my kids' names. So it's not even mine. So who am I truly living for? Everything, my book is going to be out on my birthday. My daughter is going to get all the royalties to my book. I'm not even going to see $1 for it. I'm putting it in her name. She's going to get every royalty. She's going to be the owner of my book. Why? Because money doesn't matter. My properties, my kids own my properties in trusts. I don't even own them. They're all in the name. My oldest son's 21. He was worth $7 million at 21. But he has no idea. And he has no idea what that means because he doesn't need to know right now. Does that make sense? So you're doing the right thing, but you just got to get on the right track. And you got to get the right people involved, right? You have a 5-passenger vehicle. All those passengers need to be the people you love. All of them need to have their seatbelts on and know that you're all on this ride together. Because if not, it doesn't matter. Make sense?
Good questions. All right, guys, we got to start wrapping up here. Thank you so much, guys. It's been such a pleasure. I can't wait to talk to you guys more during the event throughout the weekend. Oh, you want me to speak here? Mic check. Nah. I can't wait to see the rest of you guys for the rest of the weekend. Obviously, we're going to have some more people tomorrow and Sunday. And if you guys have any final questions, make sure you say them really quickly to Dan and Charlie. And guys, thank you so much for coming here. It's been a blessing. I've been praying for this day for a very long time. I really wanted to strategically get the right people. And again, I feel like God brought us in alignment this year. There was a reason for that. And Charlie, I've been following you for so long. I knew one day, and it's funny because I told my wife many years ago, I was like, I'm going to meet Charlie one day. And she started laughing. She's like, Joel, you're crazy. I'm like, no, watch. And here we are. So anything's possible. So as you guys know, I'm going to leave it with a quote, one of my favorite quotes, which you guys will see on your merch tomorrow, first thing in the morning when you get on the table. I always say, if you strive to be 1% better each day, at the end of 100 days, you're 100% better than when you first started. Stop trying to do everything all at once. Just focus on being better once a day. That's it. One thing you can do one day. Move that needle 1% more better, okay? And I promise you guys, when you look back at 100 days, think about it, 365 days in a year. When you look back at that, look how much you have come, right? We always forget how far we've come. Look back 12 months ago. I bet you guys had no idea where you were here financially, spiritually, physically, mentally, completely different. So I want to map that out during this event over the weekend. We're going to have some fun. And guys, please don't be shy. Let's network. That's the whole point. I brought you guys here. I truly believe you guys are a family. I love our community. Thank you so much. And guys, thank you so much for blessing us. It means the world to me. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.